And remember when I walked away and I was so pissed off, man. And DT was in the comment, a hand grenade. Somebody said, like, you walking away, man. What's going on, man? I was so pissed off that they robbed the man of Serrano twice. They robbed that lady, man. How can you have every aspect on, you beat every statistic on the page and you get robbed and they say you lose? How? So it's really unheard of to me. And so because of that, I'm like, I'm done with boxing. UFC, this might become the new UFC channel. I'm just saying, I might touch on boxing here and there, but this is going to become solely probably, man, a UFC channel, bro. I'm serious. I'm finna go hard for the UFC, man. If they giving us fights like this, yeah, UFC. Because them judges over there in the boxing channel, bro, are corrupt, man. They corrupt, bro. They are corrupt over there with their boxing. They are corrupt. They corrupt, man. Man, listen, y'all. I'm gonna give this fight card a 9, but an 8.5 because it's so late. But overall, it was a 9. Jon Jones came back, man. He put on a hell of a show. He put on a hell of a performance. Man, I mean, Jim Miller, bro. I thought when I looked at Jim Miller, when I seen Jim Miller and Damian Jackson, I said, man, what are these old 58, 60 or 8-year-old men doing? They ain't finna do nothing. Bro, they went in there and banged. And Jim Miller is a dog. Like, Jim Miller is a dog. Like, Jim Miller really went in there and banged out. Like, Jon Jones he couldn't do nothing but go in there and get a stoppage, especially when every card before you, like the last 3 or 4 fights before you, was a banger. So Jon Jones had no choice but to give us a banger. Jim Miller went in there and choked that guy out, choked him out, bro. Choked Damian Jackson out, put him in that chokehold and like wrapped him up, man. Oliveira made Chandler tap out like 2 seconds before the bell. He looked him up and he gave out and tapped him out, man. Bro, like, this fight card had to be this, man. Come on, man. Shout out to the UFC, bro. Shout out to the UFC, man. I mean, we got to give credit where credit is due, man. He says Jim Miller looked like he used to work on the R rigs. I'm telling you. I'm telling you, DT, bro. When I first saw him, bro, he reminded me like he looked like he can be a mechanic somewhere, bro, or work on an oil ridge and all of that. I say, man, what these 2 old men coming out of there for? What these 2 old men about to do? That is exactly what's my words. And Damian Jackson came out, though. He came out to fight. But at the end of the day, Jim Miller, Jim Miller can bang. He can fight. He's an older guy that can fight. McGee, he can fight too. But the only thing about McGee is that we notice he don't do too well with them leg kicks. So for future references, for any of the UFC fighters, hey, he don't do well with what? Kicks. He don't do well with them kicks to the right leg. So, I mean, that's something that we will have to keep in mind, man. He don't do well with kicks, man. He does not do well with them kicks to the body, bro. Listen, y'all. Make sure y'all hit that subscribe button, man. If those y'all that are new to the page, hit the subscribe button. Those y'all that are new coming on to the page watching, hit the subscribe button. Jon Jones win in a phenomenal way. You know what I mean? In no way other than the Jon Jones way, man. And he came out, he won. I mean, he put on a show. I mean, if you think about it, Jon Jones really had no other way but to win. You know what I mean? Like, he couldn't do nothing else but win, like, because this fight card was set up solely for you to win. You know what I'm saying? Like, so shout out to him, shout out to the channel, shout out to that boy Jon Jones, man. I mean, shout out to him, man. Shout out to Jim Miller, Oliver, what's his name? Oliveira. Those are my new fighters. He says, Jim, he says, Christopher Kaplan says, hi, what's up, Christopher? Hit the subscribe button, hit the subscribe button, hit the subscribe button. What's your thoughts over the UFC 309 card, man? And y'all, we about to come to an end here shortly, man. I'm gonna give it about 10 more minutes. And we're gonna come to an end, probably shorter than that, because it is 1 o'clock in the morning. He says, the fact that Bones showed no rust, he is the GOAT. Can you hear? Can you hear do? I don't know what that means. Do bounce on YouTube. I don't know what you're referring to, my guy. He says the fact that Bones showed no rust, he is the GOAT. Yeah, man. Yeah, man. Jon Jones. Yeah, man. You know what? The fact that he didn't show no rust, man. You know what? That is crazy, man. I'm not sure what you. That is crazy that he didn't show no rust, man. That is, you know what? That's what you call hard work, man. That he was putting in during training camp. That is what you call hard work, where he was putting in training camp, man. Because yeah, that's what you call hard work, man. That he was putting in training camp, man, and keeping his body in shape. Like, I wonder, was he training even though he wasn't fighting a couple of years, throughout those years? Was he training? You know what I mean? Or just running and keeping his legs? Because you can't come from being on the couch for 3 years and just come to a top-notch fight. You know what I mean? So I wonder, like, was he doing any training, man, or anything, man? Says you are the GOAT, man. Appreciate it, man. Hit the subscribe button. Send a super chat, Christopher. Send a super chat to the channel, man. If I'm the GOAT, send a super chat to the channel, man. Hit that $ and send a super chat to the channel, man. Show us you dig in the channel, man, and subscribe to the page. Subscribe to the page. Man, DT. The fact that he didn't show no rust, you are right, man. The fact that he didn't show no rust, I ain't gonna lie. He had my heart beating in the first couple of rounds. I'm like, yo, because he would hit him, and then Stipe would come back and hit him again. And but man, overall, bro, that was a good fight card, bro. I think this was one, like we say, this was a top 3 fight card for sure. This definitely was a top 3 fight card for sure, man. For sure. This was a top 3 fight card for sure.